Welcome to Learning Analytics, the place where analytics learning is fun and easy. So today we will discuss the other ways how data can be divided, and this will be the final part. But before moving forward, I'll give a quick recap of my previous video. Now we have discussed so far that data can be divided into 4 types: nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. So what are the uses? Nominal data is used mainly for categorization purpose. That is, nominal data is used for classifying objects. Ordinal data, apart from having the properties of the nominal data, that means categorizing objects, it can be used for ordering. So it has got a specific order. But the disadvantage is that ordinal data lacks equal distance. So here the distance may not be equal. Now coming to the interval data, it has got the properties of the nominal data and ordinal data. That means it can be used for categorization. It has got a specific ordering. Here the distance measured is also equal. But the disadvantage with interval scale data is that it lacks an absolute zero. Here the zero is a matter of convention and convenience. Now coming to the ratio scale data, it is the superior of these 4 types of data. It can be used for categorizing objects. It has got a specific ordering. Here the distance measured is equal, and it has got the advantage that here the zero value is absolute. So what are the mathematical operations that can be performed over these 4 types of data? Since nominal data is used for categorizing objects, it is simply used for the purpose of counting. So a good example would be classifying shards of different types. So shard of one type could be classified as A and shard of another type could be classified as B. So here A and B are the 2 categories. Also here this naming of A and B is arbitrary. Now coming to ordinal scale data, since ordinal data is used for ordering purpose, so here we can do ranking with ordinal scale data. So consider an example like rating a product on a 5-point scale. Say rating a product on a 5-point scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 represents respectively poor, fair, average, good and excellent. So we can see as we go down the scale, that means as we move from poor to excellent, the rating increases. So it has got a specific order. But this type of scale lacks equal distance because the difference between fair and poor and the difference between average and fair may not be equal. Now coming to the interval scale data, since interval scale data has got equal distance, so the mathematical operations that could be performed are those of addition and subtraction. A nice example is that of Fahrenheit degree temperature. Here 0 degree Fahrenheit does not represent the fact that temperature is absent. So here 0 is a matter of convention. Also 0 is not the lowest possible temperature. Now coming to ratio scale data, here apart from addition and subtraction, we can also perform operations like multiplication and division. Why this is so? Because ratio scale has gotten absolute zero value. So we can do the ratio operations like division and multiplication. Here, example could be that of weight or height. So height equals to 0 means no height, and also this is the lowest possible value. Now I will talk about numerical and categorical type data. So data consists of variables, and this data can be divided broadly under two heads: numerical type data and categorical type data. Now, all the four types of data that we have discussed so far falls under these two heads, numerical and categorical. Now, numerical type data can be further divided into continuous type and discrete type. Now, what is continuous type data? Data which can be measured. So here we attach the term measure with continuous data. That means continuous type data can have fractional values. Example could be that of height. So we can use the term that the height of the person is 5.5 feet. Now coming to discrete type data. Discrete type data is data which can be counted. That is, here we use the term count. Example, the number of students in the class is 60. So here discrete type data cannot take fractional values. We cannot say that the number of students in the class is 60.5. Now the interval or ratio scale data could be continuous or discrete, and it falls under this numerical type. Now coming to the categorical type of data. Categorical type of data can be divided into three heads: binary, nominal and ordinal. Now what is binary type? It is the nominal scale data with the exception that it has got only two categories. Example could be that of gender. So male and female. So we can represent male with 1 and female with 0. So two categories. Here 1 and 0 are arbitrary. Nominal scale data we have discussed can be used for categorization where the categories is greater than 2. And ordinal scale data is used for ordering purpose. Now the other ways how data can also be divided. So data can also be divided into three types: time series data, cross-sectional data and pooled data. Now what is time series data? Data captured over a period of time with equal intervals. So here equal interval is important. So if I consider an example, say stock price data, which is collected on a daily basis. So this is a good example of time series data, because here the interval is equal and the interval in stock price data is daily. Another example could be that of unemployment rate, which is captured on a monthly basis. So here the interval is monthly. Now what is cross-sectional data? Data on one or more variables collected at the same point in time. Here the important thing to remember is that the time point should be same. So a very popular example is that of conducting the census of the population. Now census is conducted every 10 years. So this census of population is conducted at the same time point, that is at the end of every 10 years. So this is an example of a cross-sectional data. And pooled data is the combination of both time series and cross-sectional data. Now coming to another example. Consider a hospital where there are 8 babies and I have the record of the weights of these 8 babies over the years. That means weights of the babies who has completed their first year of age, weights of babies who has completed their second year of age, and so on, till weights of babies who has completed 10 years. Now, if we look at the columns, so here each column represents a time series data. Why this is so? So if I consider the first column, so it contains the weight of baby 1 over the years. So here the data is collected over a period of time with equal intervals. So here the interval is 1 year. So if here each column represents a time series data. On the other hand, if I consider the rows, here each row represents a cross-sectional data. Why this is so? Because if I consider the first row, it represents the weights of the 8 babies who has completed their first year of age. So here the data is conducted at the same point of time. So data on more than one variable collected at the same point in time. So here the time point is same, that is who has completed their first year of age. So the combination of rows and columns would be the example of pooled data. So here the pooled data is a combination of time series data and cross-sectional data. So if I consider this total matrix of rows and columns, it will be the example of pooled data. And the final way how data can also be divided is on the basis of structured data and unstructured data. Now what is structured data? Structured data has got a specific format or rule. So it has got a specific set of rules. For example, filling out a form for opening an account in a bank. So we cannot fill out the form in any way we feel like. It has got a specific set of rules. We need to fill out first the personal information, then we go on to fill out the educational qualification, and then the work experience. So structured data is objective by nature. Now coming to the unstructured type of data. Unstructured data has got no specific format or rule. So we can fill it out in any way we feel like. Examples are that of Twitter data, Facebook data, or filling out a comment section in a form. So these are all examples of unstructured data. So we see that unstructured data is subjective by nature. With this, we come to the end of this video. So we have learned 3 things. Data can be divided in 3 ways. Firstly, data can be divided into nominal, ordinal, ratio and interval scale data. Again, data can be divided into time series, cross-sectional, pooled data, and also data can be divided into structured and unstructured data. Hope you liked the video, so stay tuned for more exciting videos in the future. Thank you.